Hi everyone, this is Irish Gunay, first year student at Batangas State University and currently taking Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management. And this video, I will show you an infographic presentation on how to eliminate risk or hazard in hospitality industry. So without further ado, let's get started.
See how many hazards you can spot in this walkthrough. Did you catch them all? Let's back up and see if we can do it safer this time. That looks like a tripping hazard. Better put it back where it belongs. Dish towels aren't much protection from a hot pan. Oven mitts are a safer bet. Let's clean this up before someone slips and falls. Ouch! What's a sharp knife doing in this open drawer? A step stool is more stable for reaching a high shelf. Let's store this knife on a rack where it can't hurt anyone. Always clean up spills as soon as they happen.
This infographic shows on how to eliminate risk and hazard in hospitality industry. First is defining what is a risk and hazard, the common related injuries, and the food safety process. First is defining what is a risk and hazards. What is a risk? A risk is a combination of a probability that a particular outcomes will occur and the severity of a harm is involved. And what is hazard? A hazard is something that can cause harm if it is not controlled. And the common injuries if the hazard is not controlled, it can be burns, cuts, slips, trips and falls, fire, ergonomic risk, cleaning chemicals, and co-poisoning. How to eliminate burn? First is use hand gloves on getting hot items like pot and pans. Second is do not put hot items on the edge of the table. The second is how to eliminate cuts. All employees should wear cutting gloves if available. And also, use appropriate size of knife for the job. Never attempt to catch falling knife, allow it to fall. And always use cutting boards. And next is how to eliminate slips, trips, and falls. First is do not block your view when transporting objects. Make sure that you will see where you're going. Second is then close the cabinet after using it. And the other way is use signage to inform people. How to eliminate fire. Do not put items that can easily cause fire near the stove. And do not overload electric circuits. In ergonomic risk, get the items in the proper postures. In cleaning chemicals, do not place cleaning chemicals near in food items. And make sure that all cleaning chemicals has a label. To avoid risk or hazard, we need to follow the food flow process, which are receiving, storing, towing, preparing, cooking, holding, serving, cooling, and reheating. In receiving, you need to list or record the date and time when you receive the items. Then, check the temperature of the items and reject the items if the temperature is not acceptable. And the second one is storing food items. In storing food in the refrigerator, we need to store it correctly. Like on the top of the refrigerator, put the ready-to-eat food. On the second layer is for the seafood. On the third row is for the raw fish, followed by the raw meat, and then the processed food. On the last row of the refrigerator is for the raw poultry. In towing food, you can tow the food that is needed for immediate service under the portable running water at 21 degrees Celsius or lower. The second is you can tow the food on the refrigerator at 5 degrees Celsius or below. Never tow the food at room temperature. And lastly, you can tow the product in microwave if it is needed to be cooked immediately. In preparing foods, first is clean as you go. Do not wait to clean the workplace until the end of the workday. Then the other one is wash the raw fruit and vegetable thoroughly. Then handle foods as little as possible. Use tongs, spatulas, or other utensils instead of hands. In cooking food, all foods will be cooked using the appropriate practice and temperature to ensure the safety. In holding, once the food is heated or cooked, the food must be maintained at the holding temperature to limit the growth of bacteria. Do not add raw food to cooked food. Then, keep foods covered to retain heat to keep contamination from falling into the food. The next one is serving. Once the food has been prepared for serving, it will no longer undergo a treatment. Then make sure that all utensils must be clean and sanitized. And always provide tongs and serving spoon. The next process is cooling, a process of removing heat from food quickly enough to prevent microbial growth. First is using an ice bath. Transfer the food in smaller bowl, then the bowl to another container with ice. Or dividing the hot food into small or thinner portions. And the other way is adding ice made from safe drinking water as an ingredient. The last process is reheating. The more a food is processed, the greater the risk of contaminations. The food must reach 74 degrees Celsius or above for 15 seconds. And reheat the food once. Do not leave the food at room temperature. Always remember that keep hot food above 60 degrees Celsius and keep the cold food below 5 degrees Celsius. We should remember that hazard is everywhere. That's why we need to have a knowledge on how to avoid it.